Anyway, PlayStation's conference, Sony PlayStation. So they began with God of War. Now, it's not officially a sequel or anything that with a number like 4, 3, or whatever. Because I don't know how far they are in that series.
Yeah,
it seems like it's kind of a reboot almost. Because I think this is the first time they've shown the main character with his son, and he's teaching him how to hunt and everything. So I guess they're trying to reboot the series somehow in a way. Then they showed off Days Gone, which is a zombie game, I believe. The title implies it that way anyway. Then we finally, after development hell for 10 years, The Last Guardian is finally coming out this year, which is exciting. Then they went to Horizon Zero Dawn. Then
that game looks pretty interesting, actually.
Yes, and I'm very concerned with the yelling I just heard from Later Cater to You.
Oh, God. Do you have to go to sleep?
Just wait till we start talking about Breath of the Wild.
oh, God. Then, kind of a sleeper hit, at least from what I've seen from E3, is the game Detroit Become Human, they announced, which it was kind of like a new Consequence game, all of Telltale's, most Telltale series games. Then we had Resident Evil 7 announced, plus VR, which led to the PlayStation VR announcement, and it's going to be available for $400. Then we got a look at a lot of VR games, including Farpoint. Then we had Star Wars Battlefront VR. Then we had Batman Arkham VR. Then Final Fantasy 15 VR, with a pretty hilarious trailer, actually. Then they moved on to Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, which is based off in space for some reason. Then we had
that no one wants.
That no one wants. Yes, kind of. It might end up being more of a black sheep of the series than Call of Duty Ghosts, but we'll get. Anyway, Call of Duty Modern Warfare is getting remastered, and then they continued the remastered announcements with tugging at everybody's heartstrings, because they had the music, they had the background, they had the shadow. Crash Bandicoot getting remastered. 1, 2, and 3 are getting remastered. But first, in October this year, we will see the very true rumor of Crash Bandicoot appearing in Skylanders Imaginators. Oh boy. But then then they announced some Lego Star Wars stuff, and then they followed it up with two actually not really surprised. I think this one was a surprise, but Hideo Kojima Productions, the first game, starring Norman Reedus, like everybody expected from The Walking Dead and other stuff. Death Stranding, a pretty interesting title, and from what they showed of it, it looks a little bit weird and out there, but that's to be expected with Kojima. And then, surprise, Spider-Man PS4. Hello, where did that come from? So, what did you guys think of PlayStation's E3 conference?
Well, I thought it was pretty good with the Gears of War, I guess reboot.
God of War.
God of War, not Gears of War. Sorry, I keep getting those titles messed up all the time. Oh, I always get
it's exactly the same, but totally different.
Say God of War because I guess because they both start with a G. So I mean, sometimes I say Gears of War, sometimes I say God of War. I always get those two messed up when talking about either of those games. But I mean, God of War, I guess looks like a reboot. At least to me, it looks like a reboot. Because I heard some people say it like they call it God of War 4, but actually in the title it says God of War. Not really, not. And kind of, to me, it kind of looks like a reboot and stuff. So I don't know. I don't know. I haven't really played any of the God of War games, so I wouldn't know that much about it. Besides that, to me, it looks like a reboot. Just part of the reason it looks like a reboot because the character design of the main character looks a little different than the other God of War games. So that's why I think it's a reboot more than like a fourth game in the series, or the same series of the same God of War, I guess. So I think that's more of a reboot, at least in my eyes. It looks like a reboot. As well as the PlayStation VR side for that, and stuff like that, and that Detroit, that Detroit game kind of looks a little interesting and stuff. I like how there's like different choices you can pick, and depending what happens, something, I guess you can go back and forth. And you had to choose which choice and whatever. When you choose, different consequences happen. I mean that looks like a little interesting game. Well, the Crash Bandicoot remakes of the first 3 games look interesting. I mean, we didn't really show any gameplay, but the announcement, I mean, I'm kind of excited for. Compared to the weird Skylanders port. I mean, well, Crash and Skylanders was kind of disappointing because, I mean, seriously, I don't really know anyone who really plays Skylanders besides, maybe little kids or whatever, really. So, what else? And also the game Death Stranding, that looks weird and bizarre, and I don't get it. I don't get it why like people are excited about that game. Like, it just looks so weird. Like, don't know that much about it. Plus, we don't know that much about it. I mean, I don't get why you're so excited for that game. But I mean, I guess part of it's just because, I guess Kojima, Kojima. Yeah, I think that's probably the reason why people are excited, because it's developed by Kojima, and it stars Norman Reedus. Mainly, I think that's why everyone's excited for it, but we don't know that much about. I'm not really that excited just because we don't know that much about it, and it just looks weird.
Before you continue or finish up, in its defense, Death Stranding's defense, I don't know how much you know about this, but do you remember that PT demo on I think it's on PlayStation 4, and it's kind of like a new Silent Hills game.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, Kojima was working on that, and it was supposed to star Norman Reedus, and then Kojima had the falling out with Konami and all that, because it was going to be with Konami. They had all that falling out and stuff, and basically, you guys will probably just have to censor this normally, because on my channel, I'm not censored.
Hey, hold on, no, we gotta pause.
Alright, we're back. Brief little edit, which was like 30 minutes long, but luckily for you, it only took like 1 second. Yay! Anyway, we were kind of talking about Death Stranding, and then something happened. Later, Gator, to you, what are your thoughts on Death Stranding?
I guess it looks interesting. Like, I don't know that much about it. But I think the big reason why everybody's excited about it is because the director is like a legend in gaming.
Same. That's why everyone's excited. Not really excited for it that much.
And pretty much because it's like a big... Oh, I know where we left off. It was when I was warning you, especially you, Later Gator, to you, that you're going to have to censor what I was about to say in your video.
Okay.
Since I won't be censoring it on mine. But anyway, warning for you to put a bleep in the video, Later Gator, to you. 3, 2, 1... Death Stranding is basically a big fuck you to Konami from Kojima, so there we go. And if you're wondering, Later Gator to You's audience, what was said during that bleep, you can go watch this video at youtube.com/user/JamesRolls.
And partially mine, which I'm probably going to keep on it because it wasn't that bad.
/.
Yes, /. But are there any other thoughts on... Actually, pretty much Later Gator You needs to give like his full thoughts on the PlayStation conference, so how about you do that?
Well, I wasn't finished. I think I was busy in the middle of doing mine, but he can go ahead.
Yeah, he could almost didn't get a chance to finish this.
Hey, forgive me, it's been so long.
Yeah. I mean, we had like a 10-15 minute break. I kind of forgot.
We're on a break!
That was like 20 minutes. That was almost... Actually, no, that was like 15 minutes. It felt like 20 or 30, though.
But yeah, really, Lady Kudu. Whatever.
So anyway, as you were saying about the PlayStation conference,
Yeah, I kind of forgot what all the games I kind of said and of all the games that were announced because of the long break.
Alright, I'll run through them again. God of War, Days Gone, The Last Guardian, Horizon Zero Dawn, Detroit Become Human, Resident Evil 7 plus virtual reality, PlayStation VR, Farpoint, which has VR, Star Wars Battlefront VR, Batman Arkham VR, Final Fantasy 15 VR, Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, Modern Warfare Remastered, Crash Bandicoot Remastered, Crash Bandicoot and Skylanders, Lego Star Wars Death Stranding, and Spider-Man PS4.
Well, I know I covered the Gears of War and a little bit about the PlayStation VR and
God of War.
God of War. Geez, why do I keep saying Gears of War? I know I covered that. I knew I covered the Crash Bandicoot remakes, and I think then I was talking about Death Stranding, and I'm done with that. What else? Like I said, when we were doing the Xbox conference, which I kind of messed up on because I guess part of the reason I kind of messed up because Final Fantasy 15 is also coming to Xbox One, so I mean I think that's why I probably mentioned it when we were talking about when we were still when Xbox comes. But I am excited for the Final Fantasy 15 VR though. But despite I haven't really played a Final Fantasy game, I'm just excited because VR, Final Fantasy VR, I guess I would say. Pretty much almost any game that's in VR, I'm kind of excited for, really. So,
even if it's ET VR.
yeah. I mean, I guess that'd be interesting if there was an ET VR. I highly doubt it would happen, but it could happen. But I highly doubt it. Also excited for that Horizon Dawn game. Zero Dawn, Horizon Zero Dawn. Excited for that game. Looks interesting and beautiful. Like I said, I'm kind of excited for that Detroit game with different consequences and stuff like that. Aside for the Arkham VR, Batman Arkham VR, Star Wars VR, Star Wars Battlefront VR. Pretty much, I'm just excited for VR. Which I already said that already. One thing is that I bet almost everyone thought would be at least it was revealed. Those two games were revealed last year, but this year they weren't even shown at E3, which a lot of people thought would be shown at E3 was the Kingdom Hearts 3 and Final Fantasy 7 remake, which didn't even show at this year's E3, which was kind of surprising that they didn't even show anything. Didn't even show anything really.
They did sell Kingdom Hearts 2.8 83 though.
Did they?
Yeah, Square Enix had a lot of individual conference sessions for their different games, and they did show off Kingdom Hearts 2.8.
What is 2.8 really? I mean,
it's kind of like a prequel to 3.
Okay, because I know they have they have Kingdom Hearts 1.5 remakes and 2.5 remakes. So I mean, what games are on 2.8 then?
I think they have the Dream Drop Distance remade for it, but they also kind of changed the gameplay because the original version played with both the 3DS screens, but now they're basically remaking the entire thing to only to make it play around just the one screen on the PlayStation 4. And they also
is it
I don't remember.
It's 2.8.
I don't remember what one of these games are, but I think they also announcing a Birth by Sleep continuation.
Is 2.8 on PS4?
That focuses on Aqua. It's on PlayStation 4.
Okay. 'Cause I thought it was because I know the other Kingdom Hearts 2.1 and 1.5 and 2.5 on PS3. So I was just wondering if
2.8 is on PS4.
Okay. Is it also on PS3 then, or just PS4?
I think it's an exclusive. I'm not sure if it's going to be on any other system.
Yeah, I meant the previous gen, PS3.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not going to be on the PS3.
Okay. I mean, not really that excited for that much, but I'm just wondering. But yeah.
About the Kingdom Hearts 3 and Final Fantasy VII remake, Square Enix actually came out like a week or so before E3 and did outright say they wouldn't be at E3, both of those games. Like, they would be saved for their own presentations, because I think also they showed off Kingdom Hearts 3 at a recent game show in Tokyo, so I think that's why they didn't show that one off specifically at E3. But Final Fantasy VII, like, I remember talking about this before, how they probably originally at this point now, wanted the first part to come out in October, so I think definitely at this point, we talked about that like a long time ago, it seems, but I think at this point it is logical that they're going to try to do it probably first quarter next year. So I would assume that the next time we hear about the Final Fantasy VII remake is probably going to be, oh geez, is there a major thing later this year? Like a major conference in Japan or something?
Well,
Because they might do it then, but other than that, they'll probably just have their own big live stream or something.
They do have the Tokyo Game Show.
Yeah, they'll probably do it then, if anything.
I don't know. They'll eventually get to it eventually.
I think the reason why they didn't show Kingdom Hearts 3 or Final Fantasy VII Remake is because they wanted to focus on 15. Because that is their big game this year.
Oh, yeah. And also, another thing about Sony's conference is The Last Guardian, which took like, I think 10 years or so, or plus to, make, and it's actually coming out this year. October. Wow. I'm not really that excited for that game that much, but I mean, the thing is, they've been working on it for like 10 years, which gets crazy. Cause was it originally gonna be like a PS3, like PS3, like near beginning of when the PS3 started? I don't think it was
Something
quite
like
going to be a launch title for PS3, but around like the beginning of the PS3.
It started as a PS2 title, and then they reworked it like a year or two later for PS3, and then they couldn't do it then.
And so then they decided to make it PS4. Wow.
And honestly, by the time... it would have been a joke if they didn't announce it was coming this year, and then next E3, if they showed off another trailer for it, and then they announced like the PS5 or the PS4 Neo, I think is what their upgraded thing's going to be called or something.
Yeah, PS4 Neo, which is like the 4K PS4, pretty much. That one's like 4K resolution and stuff.
Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't show or tease anything of that like Xbox did of their thing.
Yeah, because Xbox has the Xbox S and then the Scorpio. Sorry, not Scorpion. Scorpio.
So is that everything with PlayStation? Any other thoughts?
Maybe like...
Why didn't I get to say anything about it?
I guess he has you?
No, you continued your thoughts and then I completely forgot.
Okay. Your turn. Lady Gear to you.
Alright, when they had the Horizon Zero Dawn trailer coming up, that just makes me... That game just... I'm really looking forward to that one because
Same.
It kind of looks like a Zelda type of game, but with some Xenoblade elements mixed into it. Not like the one on the Wii, like Xenoblade Chronicles X, because they have animals mixed with mechanical robots in that game, like fantasy and technology together. The game just looks really beautiful, and I'm really looking forward to it. And when they had the Crash Bandicoot things coming up, and they had the music and the background and everything playing, I was like, oh my god, is this happening? Is this happening?
But no. Well, sort of, but no. Like, not a new game, but like, remakes, I guess.
Yeah, it's not a new game, which kind of bums me out, but it's an HD remake of the original 3 Crash Bandicoot games, which makes me really excited because Crash is huge for PlayStation. There's no denying that. So it's really nice to see that they are acknowledging that he did exist at one point.
Yeah, because technically Naughty Dog don't even have the rights to Crash Bandicoot and stuff. So I think that's part of the reason though too, but because a different company owns it now and everything. I believe Activision owns it actually. That's so.
And the thing with the remakes being confirmed is that, first of all, with Crash being at Skylanders, that's actually a much bigger deal than you'd initially think, because if Spyro is still in this new Skylander game, this is the first time that the Spyro and Crash have appeared in a platforming game in a very, very long time, because they had appeared in a couple Game Boy Advance games before, but I don't think they've ever appeared in a full 3D platforming game before.
Oh yeah, I remember that Game Boy Advance game where I guess Crash goes to Spiral World and Spyro goes to Crash and something which means like that. I remember a Game Boy Advance game like that I used to play. Kind of forgot about that.
And this also makes me excited because even though it probably won't happen because Spyro's now Skylanders, it also makes me excited that it might open up the gates for Spyro remakes on the PlayStation 4.
I mean, that could be possible too. I mean, that'd be pretty awesome if they did that.
I'm glad you brought that up because I was literally about to ask you, what if next E3 they did sort of a similar announcement with Spyro and remastered those games for Spyro?
Or then they decide to remaster all the PS2 classics as well for PS4, like Jak and Daxter and Ratchet and Clank. Well, actually, Ratchet and Clank they just did the first game, but anyway, Sly Cooper and Jak and Daxter. You mentioned they did all three of those games, and the other two Ratchet and Clank games for PS4. That'd be pretty sweet. Okay. Oh, they are. 'Cause I knew they created the remake for the first game, and the movie.
So, is it time to move on to the big N?
You're done?
Yeah, I'm done.
Okay.